June the 10th, 1992, and the huge arena of the Earl's Court Exhibition Centre in London is filled with the voices of 12,000 Freemasons. They're attending a regular quarterly meeting of the United Grand Lodge of ancient, free and accepted Masons of England. But today, there's a difference. Masons have come from throughout the United Kingdom and all over the world to celebrate the 275th anniversary of the foundation of the Grand Lodge of England in June 1717, and the 25th anniversary of the installation of His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent as Grand Master. Among the thousands here today are representatives from most of the 117 Grand Lodges recognized by the Grand Lodge of England. And in a sense of pride and confidence in showing Masonry at work, there are lady guests, television, radio, and the press. Already we've seen some of the Masonic drama as Grand Lodge assembled.
Ladies, gentlemen, brethren, will you please stand? Forward, brethren. Ladies, gentlemen, and brethren, will you please receive the most worshipful, the Grand Master.
The Duke of Kent was to preside over what was probably the most representative gathering of Freemasons ever to come together in one place. And the voice of one visiting Grand Master, the most worshipful brother Edgar Darling of the Grand Lodge of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, was to capture its significance.
We have traveled from the far reaches of the earth to revisit the birthplace of our fraternity, where 275 years ago, brethren gathered together in peace and harmony and conceived a fraternity whose high ideals and principles are still practiced to this day. Although we come from many countries with diverse backgrounds, we share one thing in common. We are all Masons and strictly adhere to the tenets of our profession. Masons are movers and shakers, dreamers and builders, and above all, we are free thinkers. Let us all rededicate ourselves to the principles of our fraternity.
No Masonic lodge can conduct its business without the volume of the sacred law, the Bible in the English Constitution, and the square and compasses in place. And today, the oldest lodges in England, the time immemorial lodges, had their duty.
I thank you for bringing the volume of the sacred law. Let it be placed upon the pedestal.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I present to you the square and compasses, the other great lights in Masonry, by which Masons regulate their lives and actions and keep themselves in due bounds with all mankind.
I thank you for bringing the square and compasses. Let them now be placed on the volume of the sacred law.
And then came the visiting Grand Masters or their representatives from more than 80 other Grand Lodges. Their names and lodges, a remarkable lesson in Masonic geography.
Brother Fleigenring from Alaska, Brother de Bouver from Belgium, Brother Bowser from South Africa, Brother Divan from India.
This was a Grand Lodge on a grand scale,
Iceland,
but it was still essentially a business
Brother
meeting.
Schicke from
Not
the United
altogether
Grand
unlike
Lodges of
those
Germany,
of the 8,500 craft lodges in cities, towns and villages throughout the country. The regular meetings of private lodges mirror the larger Grand Lodge ceremonial. It is here that all Masonic careers begin, and where millions of Masons throughout the world are initiated into the craft and thereafter join in the ceremonies. But why do they join? And who are they, these Masons?
Provided he believes in God and he's got a good reputation, anybody, any man, they come in generally 21 and upwards. They have to be recommended by 2 friends, but apart from that, our catchment area is as wide as you like. They join mostly because they think they're going to enjoy it. Once they're in, Freemasonry will strike a man in all sorts of different ways. And that's, well, again, one of the great attractions of it, that if you're an amateur dramatician, you've got one sort of fun out of it, and if you like doing charity work, raising money or looking after people, it's another sort. You can administer things. And with it all, there's the society of men of a like inclination and like experience.
Now, you require a belief in God. How does that work over the whole world?
It works like a charm. It means that we've found a common denominator which brings people together who otherwise wouldn't meet. It means that any sort of religion, respectable religion, like Christians and Jews and Hindus and Muslims, can meet together in a lodge, and they find out what they've got in common. They're encouraged to do that rather than to emphasise what's different. And we don't discuss religion, but we know we've all got one, and so it becomes part of our common background.
How do people get to know about Masonry?
Well, you don't join Freemasonry like you might join the AA, but if you can't find a friend, or 2 friends to put you up for it, and you write into Freemasons Hall, we've got a system of making sure that Freemasons go round and look at the man who's thinking of becoming a Freemason, and then the process starts and they discuss it, and he finds out something more about it, and if he still wants to carry on, then they may feel that they can recommend him.
As having subsisted